Hey everybody, this is Brett. And after posting tonight's video about the share of the video about how the coronavirus is linked to the 5G network, I was thinking to myself more and more that, the 5G is definitely something that is part of the cause of this. Okay, but bear in mind, I teach holistic healing. Okay, and holistic means the whole. And when I say the whole, we're talking about all the things that make a person healthy or unhealthy. And the 5G is a pretty extreme thing. And in that video, they talk about how when various electrical aspects, electrical frequencies were added to the world by various means, then it created a weakness, an immune weakness, a bodily weakness, a mental weakness, and it put a strain on our bodies and minds. And there are so many different things that do that. And from my experience with working with people that have come to me for massage with various ailments, they would come off, and I just worked on somebody a couple of nights ago, and he told me that something threw his back out. That is exactly how he described it. He said that it threw his back out. And I always love to make a joke. You know me. I said, well, did he throw it out the window? Okay, so people have all these little sayings about something that triggered their illness. And yes, definitely the 5G could have triggered this virus in some way. Exactly how it did that, I don't know. But as they say, with that the bats, somebody ingested some bat urine or blood, etc. Maybe that definitely was part of it, and maybe that was the biggest part of it. But additionally, the extra strain of all this wireless energy in the air is also definitely part, in my mind, from my experience with electricity, excess electricity, all this electricity in the air that we have now that we didn't have 200 years ago. It puts a strain on our bodies, but so many different things put a strain on our bodies. And a whole lot of people are thinking right now, hey, I'm just going to check out because all of this stress is just too much. And they say that stress is the biggest killer of human beings. How many of you can tell me that the stress of the coronavirus has not affected you in a major way? Okay, so what do you think if you had to look within yourself and ask yourself, what's affecting me more than anything else so far with the coronavirus? I'll bet you that 95% of you would say the stress of it all. Okay, so luckily for you and for me, there's something that we can do about that. In fact, there's a whole lot of different things that we can do about the stress factor. And I don't know about you, but I have watched enough of the mainstream news now in regards at least to the coronavirus. And I am just about to hear, with all of their explanations and all of their yada yadas that they're going to do and why they're doing this and why they're doing that. But I will stick with my guns and tell you that there are a whole lot of fantastic benefits out there right now. There is so much less fumes being burned into the air right now because of the coronavirus. There is so many people that are staying home, and those people, because they're staying home, they can either stress about it or they can use it to their advantage. It's all in the attitude. Think about it. What are you going to do if you have to stay home? Stay home and stress over it? Freak out? Stay glued to the television? Or are you going to take some time and actually do some stretching, do some self-massage, do some gardening? This is your gift. It's like a gift. I'm not joking. This is like a gift from the universe. It's beautiful. All of us may be getting checks in the mail too. We may be getting checks from the government, and the government is being initiated by the medical industry. They're buddies, hand in hand together. They love each other, and they may be giving us just because they know that if they don't give us some money, that there's going to be pandemonium. And so you can bet. So if you're somebody that watches my channel, hopefully you've gotten to the point of where you realize that you need to take care of yourself naturally. And hopefully you really understand that, and you really don't buy into the health care industry, because you know that real health care is what you can do as soon as I'm done with this video for yourself. Hey, Sherwin from Barbados. Thanks. Thanks, man. So, hi, Joe and Mario. How are you? Thank you for the clapping, Mario. So there you go. You can make this a party. Okay, maybe not a party, but you can make this a time of healing. You can have fun with it, like I've been having. I've been having some fun. Cutting some jokes. I like to make fun of names. And I'll tell you one that I made a little fun with tonight. There was a guy on PBS, and yes, I just got, this is why I'm making this, because I'm like, I can't stand to watch it anymore. They're just going to go on and on and on about the coronavirus, right? There's some guy, some guest, his name is Jeremy Kundick. And I looked it up. And please forgive me if one of you's last name is Kundick. The actual spelling, this is a real last name. This is a real last name, okay? And it is spelled Kundick. Kundick. Okay? So, have fun. You have to have laughter. You really need peacefulness. I mean, some of you don't need laughter as much as I do, obviously, right? I thrive on it. I just love cracking jokes and making fun of things and people, because people are worth and worthy of making fun of. If you don't believe that, then you're not looking around at them very well. It's real. I've been doing it my whole life, making, and for the most part, they deserve it. I love being home. Yeah, see, if you're a Cancer, and I have to admit this, I'm a Cancer, and of all of the astrological signs out there, we're the homebodies. We are the homebodies. And so it's probably easier for me, especially like if you're a Sagittarius and you like to travel. Now, this could be really difficult for you, and you may have to go deep within. But man, it's coming to the point, and people are going to start to realize this more and more and more. Mario, you're always awesome. Thank you. Mario is probably like a millionaire. Probably not, though. Mario is probably just a very good-hearted person that appreciates me. Thank you, Mario. So, really, as time goes by here, we're going to see more and more people making videos. We're going to see people on YouTube that have fully recovered. They were tested and shown to be positive for the coronavirus. They're going to explain what their symptoms were, and we're going to know. And all of this is going to become a whole lot less of a mystery. You will see over the coming weeks, more and more and more, it's going to become less and less of a mystery. And I'm going to make lists of all the things that I think are the very worst things for people's health. Many of you know what most of them are. Don't think it's good to be on them for very long. This computer, this laptop that that's transmitting to you right now, this laptop, this old Toshiba laptop, I'm going to show you what I have, how I have grounded it right now. You see that copper wire right there? That is a green grounding wire that's plugged into the ground in my socket. It's connected to a copper wire that I suck into that plug, into the side of that plug, because the outside of that plug is where it's grounding. Now, how do I know that that's reducing the electromagnetic fields that this computer puts out? I have 2 meters. I have an orange multimeter, and I have a tri-field meter. And the multimeter, I can test my body's electricity, and when that little wire is plugged into my computer, it reduces the amount of EMF that this. I wish it would reduce the little bugs, the ladybugs. They're constantly flying around and landing on the computer and stuff, but it reduces the EMF that's coming out of my laptop by about 8 volts. 8 volts. If I unplug that, or if I undo it right now, I'll have 8 volts of electricity. And the closer I get to the computer, the more electricity it goes up on the multimeter. An electrician's multimeter. Want to see what it looks like? There you go. For $60, you can buy one of these X-Tech electrician's multimeters. And you connect this end to a ground, like that wire that I bought at lessemf.com. And you connect this end, you pinch it with your fingers. And then you look at the voltage. You look at the voltage. And it tells you how much electricity is in your body. And it's really quite amazing. And I learned it from a YouTube video or 2. I've learned lots of things from lessemf.com, but mostly from YouTube videos. And this was years and years ago when I started getting into learning about electromagnetic fields and how bad they are for your body. And you can buy things so that you can sleep grounded. But really, I'll tell you, one of the best things that I've done to reduce the EMF in my body is to move out of the city. Just go into any city and look around. The more power lines that you see, and the more houses, and the more yada yada, all that's connected to electricity, including cell phone towers, the more of all those things that there are in a small area, the more you're exposed to electromagnetic frequencies. Can anybody out there tell me that they don't think that adding electricity to the air will cause problems for a human body? Okay, so that's how I look at things. I look at things like just as a general question. I'll just say, will that cause problems for my body by doing that? And over years and years of just experimenting and just experiencing the different things, I'm very, very sensitive. I think that people that are thin like me, people that are cancers, people that have various sicknesses, the more sick you are, the more sensitive or like chemically sensitive you get. And you'll see that the more sensitive people get in this world, the more they're going to be wearing masks, the more they're going to be like nervous about things, the more carpet that's in their house that they're breathing, all kinds of things. And then here's the really troublesome thing about it all. Like, the only way that you can really get out of it is to educate yourself. And then when a person really decides to educate themselves about environmental illness, then they become paranoid. And that mental paranoia, it's not as bad as the actual physical problem, physical sensitivity that they have, but it's really pretty bad in itself. Like, it's the stress that you find because you've educated yourself. It's like the saying, what you don't know won't hurt you. Well, that is sort of true, because your mind, mentally, you don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about here. Mentally, you don't know about something, but you're still breathing those fumes, whatever it may be, or your skin is still absorbing it. You're eating something and it's making you physically sick, but mentally, if you don't know about it, it can't hurt you. Is that true? No. But if you know about it and you're sick, then it's really hurting you. I tell you this absolutely because I experienced it. For many years, I was really, really sensitive. I could hardly go into a hardware store, especially in the pesticide section. If you go into Lowe's or Home Depot and you go into like the pesticide section of the gardening department and take a deep breath, that's what I'm talking about. I would be like, get me out of here. I was so sensitive to stuff like that. And also, I knew about it because I'd read books and stuff. Okay, so I was getting hit with both things. Okay, so I can sit here in front of you today. I can sit here in front of you today and be able to talk about all of this and be able to help you get through it in some way, shape, or form, because I largely got through it and I made the changes that I needed to make so that I can talk about it. And I can't talk about it forever, or eventually I'll get sick. But I can talk about it for a while, and then I can go meditate and come back to center. Know that I have to do these things because it's my job. Because when you come to the earth and you're on a spiritual quest, especially if you're somebody with Mercury communication in Leo, the lion that has to be, because Leo has to be at the center of attention. I love that. I love being like the performer, the center of attention. That's my rising sign, and also Mercury and Venus. 3 things I have in Leo. And then there's other things that prompt me to want to share my information and help people. And I don't know that much about astrology I could delve back into it and remind myself what those things were. But in any case, you should just know that it's part of my purpose. It's part of my purpose to analyze. Okay, so I have a lot of things in Virgo. I have the moon in Virgo. So I can sit here and analyze this and that and this and that. And so it's one of the things that I really enjoy, putting two and two together by seeing how they relate to each other. That's why I love holistic healing so much. I can just analyze the shit out of things and then relay what my observations were. And so my observations are that you have a world full of sick and toxic people. And now you have a very aggressive virus that is attacking all those sick and toxic people. And you have a world also that thinks that health care is what you get at a hospital and from doctors. And so now you have the situation which the government that supports the healthcare industry, that supports all of those people, the whole lot of them are under a giant strain. Okay? And inadvertently, that puts a giant strain on the rest of us. Even if you're really healthy, it puts a strain on us. But it doesn't put near as much of a strain on somebody like the less dependent. Okay, I'll give you an example of somebody that it doesn't put very much strain on at all. If you live in the jungle, if you live a lifestyle that's not very connected to the masses, all of them, the less it's going to cause stress on you. Okay, so one of the first things that you can do is limit your watching of the news. Limit your connecting to anyone or anything that's really strained. Things that are strained by this whole scenario. Okay? And things that you can do are like yesterday, I planted starters in my garden. I planted a whole bunch of starters in my garden. And today I stacked wood. The woodworkers were cutting wood. And so I stacked some wood. I clean my chicken houses out and I take care of my chickens. I'm sewing to keep busy. So stay busy. Do stretching and do massage and meditation and other holistic healing yin things. Yin is like low key. It's quiet. It's peaceful. Do those kinds of things to offset the yang of the coronavirus. The coronavirus is yang. It's acid. Okay, so that's another thing, another aspect that, see, the coronavirus exposes the weaknesses. Just like somebody reaching for a cup, if they have a tight deltoid, and they go to reach for a cup, and you lost your job because of the coronavirus, or you just had something happen because of the coronavirus, that's going to create more acid production in your body. And that's going to expose the weakness that you already have even more. Okay, are you starting to see how this works? I want, and I really need, and I hope that everyone is starting to understand holistic healing and how it works. And so, it's a yang disease, which most of them are. And they say that when you're breathing smog all day, that creates an acidic condition. The chemicals that you're exposed to also create an acidic condition in your body. And that's why when you go out and you go to some kind of a holistic gathering, they're not going to do like, okay, we're going to do some crazy shit, like we're going to gamble and drink beer and all kinds of like extreme aggressive things. They're going to do yin quieting things. Okay, so when you understand things, especially if you're a mental person like me, okay, when you understand things with your mind, then you're going to be able to deal with them like emotionally and physically. Like I said, if you're a mental person like me, it really helps. And you have to kind of admit things too. You have to kind of come right out and admit things. Well, I really need to do more yin things in my life. So think of peaceful and quiet things that you can do, like slow walking. Like you don't go out and like do sprints. There may be some people out there that sprints are a quieting thing. Okay, so there are exceptions to every rule. And yes, if you're somebody that like you just got out of prison, you just got out of prison and you have decided that instead of going back to your old ways of robbing and stealing and raping and pillaging people, that you're going to do sprints because Brett told you to do yin things. So for you, sprints would be a yin thing. But for most people, please give me a thumbs up for that. And give that ladybug a thumbs up. Okay, so but for most people, you know, just sitting peacefully or laying on your back in Shavasana position. Shavasana is just like, you know, laying on the floor on your back and breathing. just quiet breathing, or doing some self-massage, or just rubbing your neck, all those different kinds of yin activities calm your mind, and that calms your body, and that calms your mind, that calms your emotions. And it's really good to come to like conclusions about things while you're sitting there and you're pondering on your past and you're thinking about all the troubles that you've had, because you've got like time now. You've got time to stay home. Okay, so now we've gotten past all of the rigmarole. Okay, so we're really largely past, if you just join me, we're really largely past all of the stress and rigmarole that society is yada-yadaing through their minds right now about the coronavirus. And now we understand that what we need to do is take care of ourselves with yin quieting activities at home and staying busy, and we might even read a book or something. And we might start thinking about all of the things that Brett's been talking about and other people have been talking about that are really good for our health, because we know that hopefully we're going to get a check pretty soon, and hopefully, but we're not worried about any of that. And so we're drinking some water. And we're just staying cool and taking care of the things that really matter. And we're talking about the things that are just like the basic things of that a human needs. The basic things that a human needs. And so today I made a big old pot of rice and black rice and amaranth. Yesterday I made a big old pot of pinto beans with spices and onions. And today I also made another big pot of vegetable soup. And I got 11 eggs from the chickens. And I do have to continue to make a little bit of money here and there. Thank you so much, Mario, for that $20, because guess what? That was the only $20 I made today. And so I really appreciate it, Mario. If anybody else would like to make a donation, then you just hit the little money button down there. That would be cool. Or you could become a Patreon donator by going down to the description box of, I don't think I put it in this video yet, but most of my videos have my channel. Or you could just buy some of my products, like these beautiful $13. For $13, you can have one of these beautiful soother tools in small or large sizes. But we could do a little yin activity right now if you want to. We could just stretch, because you're probably just sitting there and you're listening intently to me, and that's all good. That's all really important. But now, instead of doing a mental thing, let's cool and calm and unify. I make up words now. Unify our brain and stretch our shoulders. Yeah. Okay, so you should know that when I tell you about clean air and clean water and chicken eggs and stuff, you should know that it took me a long time to acquire a lot of these different things. And I was once 30 years old. I was once 40 years old and didn't have those things. I lived in the city and I lived on busy streets. Okay, so you don't have to like trip over it just because you don't have some of the things that I have. I've worked really hard for a long time to get some of these really important things. And hopefully now that you're seeing the coronavirus happening with your own eyes and ears, you're starting to realize that, hey, maybe what he's doing out there has been a really preparedness kind of activities, a mental and physical preparedness type things. Preppers, that's what they call them. Brett's kind of like a subconsciously prepper type person, prepping for things that he knows, like society, is going to break down because it's not sustainable. I realize that this society and so many different things, God knows all the things that I told you about with a lot of things. they are for a purpose. Everything that you see with human society is for a purpose, but a lot of those things aren't meant to be around for very long because they're not sustainable. They're just greed driven. The things that really matter are the basic necessities that a human being has to have, and that's pretty much it. Those are the things that really, really matter. And all the other things like go-karts that are fun. It's fun to play with toys, and the rich people have their big toys. But those things don't really matter when it comes down to it. And so I've just gotten rid of anything that wasn't really essential. And so I hope that y'all can see the value in just focusing on the essentials in life, and that you'll start to work your way into that kind of a thing. I have a friend. His name starts with a B. I won't say it, but he decided to get out of his previous life in Idaho and move to Georgia. And him and his wife now live in their like motor home. They bought a motor home, and I believe it's not running right now. So it kind of like died on the spot where they're staying out in the country. But they're living this totally primitive lifestyle. He just barely got the running water from the well the other day. I'm not sure exactly why he didn't have it before, but he got the pump set up, he got the well set up, and he was so happy just to have running water. Imagine that, living in a motor home, just an old motor home that he got for $1,000 or $2,000, right? You've seen these people like traveling around the country. They lost their apartment or house, they lost their job or whatever, or they just decided they couldn't stand and staying in society anymore. So they went out on the road to get away from people, right? So that's what B did, this friend of mine. And him and his wife are living in the country on this property. I don't know what they pay for the rent to live there or anything, but I don't think they're wanting to go back. I don't think that they're wanting to be a part of the machine anymore. And yeah, that's kind of what I've done largely here. I'm still part of the machine because I know that there are things that the machine creates for me that I need, a whole lot of things. But I'm trying to fill the void and be able to create as much as I can for myself to be self-sustainable so that I don't have to be reliant on other people. Like, for instance, I'll tell you one thing right now, that if these lights all go out right now, if the electricity in this house, in this cabin, completely goes out right now, guess what? I still have an electricity option. You know what that is, right? My deep cycle battery out in my car that gets charged, fully charged, and maintains being fully charged all the time by my 100-watt solar panel that's on the hood of my car. And all I would have to do right now, in fact, that would be a cool video. I could flip the breaker. Check it out. I could purposely go up here and open that box and turn off all the electricity in the house and make it totally electrically peaceful in here. Then I could run an extension cord from the inverter that's out in my car. I have an AC/DC inverter in the car. And I could run it into here and plug just the computer and the modem and the few lights. I could easily run those things off of my deep cycle battery out in the car. And we could have a session here. We could do our thing just like we're doing right now, off the electricity from the deep cycle battery on my car. And so that's an example of how I'm becoming more self-reliant and less dependent on the machine. Anybody that listens to Pink Floyd knows that there's a song called like Welcome to the Machine. Welcome to the machine. So these are from my stoner days, but it's true. You even learn things from music, from stoner music that you might use and you might be able to relate to in the future. And so there you go. The less you need. Okay, I'll tell you another example. Right now, I'm just about to do a trade for some cherry wood. And I'm not going to pay cash for it. I'm going to pay eggs. The guys that are doing the wood cutting outside, they really like my eggs because they're really, really good eggs. And they see all the chickens roaming around all over the property. And they know, because these are not city people, okay? These guys, they live right around here, and they were born around here, and they talk like this and stuff, And they have a deep appreciation for real and quality things like good range-free eggs. And they really want to trade me, and they're willing to trade me because they know I don't have much cash flow right now, like most of you, like many of you. And so I'm really lucky. But I'm thinking, and I'm projecting, and I'm trying to figure out anything that I can do to be able to keep swinging it here. And that includes prompting y'all to buy my products, please. These are fantastic wooden rollers that you can use every day for the rest of your life to roll on your spinal muscles and stimulate your spine and everything in your whole body. And they're on sale. I'm even willing to give you a little bit more off them if you ask for a coupon by emailing me at brett@brettsnaturalhealth.com. And so yeah, let's do a little calming meditation for a few minutes. I got sidetracked there. Just take some nice deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Let your arms just hang. And roll your shoulders just a little bit. And feel if there's any tension that you need to stretch out. And if there is, then just stretch your shoulders back. Shake it out a little bit. And take a nice deep breath again through your nose. And out through your mouth. And know that even though there's all this stuff going on in the world right now, that you're probably still very lucky. If you feel that very deeply within yourself, you might get emotional, and that's okay. Take another deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. And relax your body and feel for any tension spots. And totally calm your mind. All is well within you at this moment. All is well within you in this moment. Oh, there may be a lot of things going on in the world, but if you calm your mind and you take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, you could even smile if you want to. And you could shake your body a little bit and relax it. And know that you're calm yourself. You're calm within your soul. You know that this life is a challenge, an intentional challenge given to you. It's not a coincidence. This life, including being courageous. So you'll hear a lot of gurus talk about love. Oh, they'll talk a lot about love and how important that is, and that God is love. Well, guess what? God is also courage. And any good Aries will tell you the importance of courage. And we're just about to Aries. We're going to be to Aries pretty soon, y'all. The sign of courage, the warrior. And you can take some of that even if you're not in Aries. You might have some planets in Aries, and even if you don't, though, you can think about having real courage and deep courage in this time of challenge. You can know when to isolate yourself from other people. You can know when to try to help other people. You can ebb and flow in perfect synchronicity exactly the way that you need to be in that exact moment at any given time. How's that? You can totally remember what I'm telling you right now. Even if you don't have a great memory, you can totally remember these things that I'm telling you right now because you know that you really need them. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And now put your hands together in prayer position like this. And even if you're like an atheist, it's okay. This position creates a unity between the left and the right. Putting the hands together creates oneness and unity between all things left and right. If you're sitting cross-legged, you can take and put your feet bottoms, the soles of your feet together, and even create more unity. Relax and don't tense up. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Do it again. Relax your body. Calm your mind. We are all one with the universe. And now visualize that this planet is a tiny speck. Okay, we're going to put things into perspective right now. This planet and these bodies are tiny, tiny, tiny specks in a giant universe. And there are other civilizations that are in control of this planet, and they know what they're doing. That's what I believe. God, civilizations, God is the higher thing, but there are other higher, much, much, much more advanced civilizations than human beings here on this planet that are guiding us and helping us. There may be you may have ancestors that have died in the past that have agreed to stay here and become guardian angels for you and other people that exist within a space that we can't see or hear, but they're still guiding us. So you have to totally know that these things are true by visualizing or by theorizing and understanding that they're true. Everything is hierarchical. Who out there actually believes that human beings are the highest form of life, even on this planet? I don't. It would be really illogical. It would be really stupid, actually, to think that was true. It's very reassuring to know that it's not true. Thank God it's not true that Donald Trump is the leader of this world. Thank God. So, yes, this is a meditation. Part of the time we're calming our mind, and part of the time we're contemplating on things. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. One of the very most important things that you can know is that you're doing your best. I can tell you without any doubt that I am doing my best. If you're doing your best, there's nothing else that you can do. If that's the case, then why would you worry about anything? Why would you worry about anything if that's the case? Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Totally relax your mind. Totally relax your body. Totally calm your mind. Totally calm your body. When you're in this prayerful, connected position with your hands together, whether it be like this, or like this, or like this, or what have you, then you have an ability to connect with creation in a deeper way, kind of like an antenna. The right side is more of the aggressive side for most people, and the left side is more of the submissive side for most people. Allah being right-handed or left-handed. But it doesn't matter. When you connect the two, then you can simply ask creation, and that's what we're going to do next. We're not going to ask what I say. I want you to just connect with creation and ask something. It can be a question, it can be guidance, or whatever you want, but we're just going to take a few minutes to quietly connect with creation. So go ahead and do that now. And keep breathing. Okay. So now that you've connected briefly with creation, I want you to imagine a powerful energy coming down into your body and energizing you to the max and filling you full of courage and an ability to deal with any challenge that you need to deal with. One of the most beautiful things that this energy can give you is an ability to slow down. See, if you have the ability, if you have the gift that you've been given, like many of us do, to be able to stay home now, guess what you can do? You can slow down, and you can spend a lot of time doing this. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Relaxing your mind, calming your mind, and doing the same with your body. Now, Move your hands like this. Open and close, open and close. Wrists too. Flex and extend. And totally relax everything. Thanks, Joe. You're awesome, man. Thank you very much. Any little bit helps, you guys, if you appreciate my videos. Thank you. And so, yeah, I hope that this session has helped you. It helps me to help you. So that's basically all I want to say tonight, and I'll end the session with that. Maybe I'll just read a few things here. And they made fun of people who even tried to prep. Yeah. Hey, Marcos from India. Hey, Ben Travels. Ben Travels is like in where are you at, Ben? Hi, Diana. Hey, Sherwin. Okay. So thanks everybody for joining me, and I hope that you're well. If you didn't get a chance to see this whole video, and most of you probably didn't, you could go back to the beginning and watch it. And I hope that it really helps you. I hope it helps you to put things into perspective and understand that all the people that I've been telling you that are out of balance on this earth right now, they're all up in arms. They're all freaking out. And you don't have to be as much of a part of that. You don't have to get drawn into as much of that as you may think that you do. You can kind of disconnect from people and they're freaking out, and go do these things that I do, that I helped you with tonight, that I guided you through. Yin things, quieting things for you, and that's going to be different for everybody. So just do quiet, whatever quieting things, calming things. It's a gift. Staying home. And here's another thing. I get off on tangents because I keep analyzing and figuring things out. So I've worked in restaurants before. When I was fresh out of high school, I moved up to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and I worked at Nellie's as a breakfast cook. And you've got millions of people, tourists, that will not be going back to Jackson Hole probably this year. No, I don't think that's going to be Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and a lot of other touristy are all saying to themselves, hey, what are we going to do? But back then, I moved up to Jackson Hole, and I was living in a tent, and I was working at Nellie's as a breakfast cook, and it is chaotic, my friends. Nellie's is working at any restaurant. The second year I lived in Jackson in the summer, I worked at the Sizzler as a steak cook at night. But working at a restaurant is a really chaotic thing for the waitresses and the cooks, everybody there. And so right now, guess what? They all get a yin break. They all get a peaceful break. But only if they allow that to happen. Only if they make it their reality. They could stay home and just stress. It'd be like, oh my God, they could just cry, what are we going to do? I'm not getting my tips anymore. What they can do is whatever they can do. They're going to have to figure out something to do. But they're going to have to work really hard to not be stressed. And all of us need to do that. I'm just giving you one example, the ultimate, the extreme example of somebody out there that their job that they're losing. They went from a chaotic job of running around, a lot of them, depending on the restaurant, running around like a chicken with their heads cut off. That's what I did. You'd get a big wheel full of orders. You had this big wheel, right? And you put the order up. They don't do it probably like this anymore. They've got it, it's all electronic. But back in the day, we'd have paper orders. where the waitress would take the order on a piece of paper, and then they'd stick it on the wheel, and then they'd rotate it back to you as the cook. You take the order down and you see what it is, and then you fill the order. A few minutes later, you put the plate up on the thing, and they take it out to the person that's eating, you know? And it's all mass-produced food. And it comes in boxes, like chicken patties or something, crap chicken patties. You throw it in the fryer, you fry it up, whatever. But it's all very chaotic. But those people can go home now and just relax. They can just sit and chill and meditate and make it a beneficial thing if they want to. Or like I said, they can just sit there and stress. And each of you can do the exact same thing. You can use this to your advantage. You can think about it. You can call it the Corona vacation. There you go. You're on a Corona vacation. It's kind of like, you could consider it an island, the island of Corona, where you're taking in your own house. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to pack your bags. Nothing. You can just, tomorrow if it's sunny, you can go out and sit in the sun and get a tan and relax and just make sure that you've got your basic necessities and have a Corona vacation. So I want to thank you so much for joining me. Thanks to Mario and thanks to Joe for making donations. I really appreciate it. And thanks to anyone that's purchased my products at brettsnaturalhealth.com. Bye, everybody.